Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, slow flow practice today. It'll be an energizing practice, mainly focusing on lower body, on the legs. We'll get our heart rate pumping, get the blood, the lymph flowing, get your body moving. So let's begin. You don't need any props for the practice today. Find your way into child's pose. Or if you prefer another way to start your practice, find a comfortable seat or take a little mini shavasana. We'll just be here for a moment before we start to move. So if you're taking child's pose, your version, either legs wide, knees wide, or could bring the legs in together. Big toes coming towards each other behind you, and lower your forehead down to the mat. Could tuck your hands underneath your forehead or a block if that feels more comfortable, or maybe stack one fist on top of the other and rest your forehead, your third eye space right on top of your fists. And just take a few nice, deep, smooth, and steady breaths here. Allowing yourself to arrive here on your mat for your practice, taking this sacred time with yourself, giving yourself a little love, focus, and attention. And take a moment to check in and just notice anything that comes up for you today, feelings, thoughts, emotions, sensations in your body, anything at all. Just notice. No judgment. Send yourself some acceptance and some loving energy, whatever is going on for you. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through your practice. And if you like, take this intention off of the mat, out into the day with you, out into the world with you. Love yourself. Fill up your whole body with your breath. Back of the lungs, every nook and cranny, every pocket, every corner in your lungs, the front of the lungs. Fill up the whole torso, the whole body with your breath from your head all the way down to the toes. Imagine every deep breath loving you, caressing you from the inside out. And then slowly begin to find your way up into a table position. You can flutter your eyes open. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees aligned up underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, and just take some movement here. Any wiggling, moving, anything that feels good. And then we'll roll through a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling as you drop the belly down, lift the tail up, draw the heart forward and lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, press into the hands, round the back up towards the ceiling. And move through a few more rounds here. Following your breath. And then bringing yourself back into your table, neutral spine. Now we'll extend the right leg back behind you, hip level-ish. Drop that right foot down to the mat, pressing into the ball of that foot and pressing down and out through the hands. Breathing into the back of that right leg. And then release right knee down to the mat. Send the left leg back behind you, hip level-ish. And then release ball of that left foot down to the mat. Few deep breaths into the back of the left leg now. And then release that knee down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, press into the hands, lift up through the belly, glide your hips up and back to downward dog. Starting with a bigger little bend in the knees here. Finding that nice long spine. Then begin to pedal out your legs, walk out your dog, or bend straight in the knees. Roll up onto the balls of the feet, and then press heels towards the mat. And then again, roll up onto balls of feet, press heels to the mat. Then we'll bend the knees, crouch yourself down, and then glide your hips back up into downward dog. Bend the knees, crouch it down, glide the hips up into your downward dog. Couple more times. Just beginning to open through the backs of the legs. And then bring yourself up into downward dog. Now we'll bend the knees, crouch down, press into the feet, hug in through the legs, begin to lift up through the belly and roll yourself forward, finding plank. And then lift your hips up and back into your downward dog. Couple more like that. Bend the knees, crouch down, lift up through the belly, glide yourself forward, find your plank. And then back into down dog, once or twice more. And then next time you roll yourself forward into plank, hold there, and then draw the right knee up towards the chest. Hug it in, press down into the hands, and then release right foot down to the mat. We'll draw that left knee in towards the chest, and then release left foot back to the mat. Begin to move this side to side, right knee to chest, and then you send the leg back, left knee to chest, then you send that leg back. You can keep this pace nice and slow, or you can begin to pick it up. So you're sort of running here. Opposite knee drawing into chest. And then bring it back to plank and roll yourself up and back into your downward dog. Walk yourself up to the top of your mat and we'll fold it into a ragdoll. Lift your belly up off of your thighs. Hinge from the hips, bend the knees, bring the belly back down to the thighs. Hands to the mat or grab elbows, shake, nod your head, rock your hips side to side. And then bring yourself to center. Hands to the hips, press into your feet and come all the way up. Palms come together at your heart. Reach your arms up. Hinging from your hips again, fold yourself back into that forward fold, and then we'll bring it halfway up to our flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Soften the knees, fold yourself back and press into the feet, glide all the way back up, palms together overhead, hands back down to your heart. Reach the arms up, fold it forward, halfway lift, flat back, plant your hands down to the mat. Let's step it back to plank. Lower your knees down to the mat. Lower yourself all the way down. Pubic bone, belly, torso. And then hug elbows in. Lift up through your heart. Heart reaching forward. Baby cobra. Release back down. Tuck toes. Press yourself up and back into your downward dog. Now bend your knees, crouch down. We'll send the right leg up. Three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, shift yourself forward, core plank, knee to chest. Press down through the hands, hug that knee in and up. And then step that right foot through to that right thumb. Turn and drop left foot to the mat, toes pointing out to the side, bend both knees. Press down into the earth. Give yourself a few little pulses here and then lift up and open yourself into warrior two. Bend that right knee, open the arms wide. We'll release the arms down, straighten that right leg. Sweep the arms back out to the sides as you bend that right knee again. And then arms come back down, straighten that right leg. A couple more times. Bending, straightening that front leg. back to your warrior two. Hands come back down to the mat. Step yourself back to plank. Lower knees down to the mat. Lower all the way down. Belly, torso, chest comes down, elbows hug in. Lift up your heart, either baby cobra or if you feel ready, lift it up for a full cobra. Lower down, tuck toes, send yourself up into downward dog, and then bend your knees, crouch it down, send that left leg up, three-legged dog, bend that left knee, shift forward, and step left foot through. Turn and drop a right foot to the mat, toes out to the side, bend both knees. Give yourself a little pulse here as you lift up and open into your warrior two. Bend that left knee. You're pressing over towards the pinky toe side of that foot. Arms reaching wide, and then straighten that left leg as you release the arms down. Inhale, open it back up, arms come wide. Release the arms down, leg straightens. Open the arms back up as you bend that knee a couple more times. Open it back up, warrior two, and then we'll take hands back to the mat, step yourself back to plank. Now either lower the knees down to the mat and come up through cobra, or we'll take it into chaturanga, low push-up and upward dog. Roll it forward on the toes, bend your elbows, lower yourself about halfway down-ish. Shoulders above level of elbows. Come onto tops of your feet, thighs lifted, pull the heart forward, lift the gaze, root down into your finger pads, and then lift yourself up into your downward dog, all meeting in downward dog. Bend the knees, crouch it down, send right leg up, three-legged dog, bend that right knee, shift it forward, core plank, right foot steps through, we'll turn and drop that left foot again, bend the knees, press into the earth, lift up, open it, warrior two. And then release the arms down, straighten that right leg, turn that foot in so feet are parallel-ish. And then we'll turn the toes out, turn the heels in, bend the knees, lower yourself down into temple or goddess or horse pose. Reach the arms up, cactus the arms. And then from here, we'll step the left foot back over to meet the right, up at the top of the mat. Sit yourself down in chair pose and reach your arms forward. Release the arms down, straighten the legs, step yourself back wide out into that goddess pose or temple pose. Arms reach up. Release the arms down. Now step the right foot over to meet the left at the back of the mat. Bend the knees, send the bum back, hips back, find chair. Press into the feet, reach up, open up the legs, come back into that goddess pose. And then straighten the legs, arms come down, feet parallel-ish again. Turn right toes up towards the top of the mat. Let's take it back into warrior two. And then hands back to the mat, step yourself back to plank. And then find your flow. Crouch it down. Send left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, shift forward. Step that left foot through. Turn and drop right foot to the mat, knees bent. Pulse yourself a little bit and then lift up, open it in to your warrior two. Release the arms down, straighten that left leg, turn that foot in, parallel the feet. Take the arms wide and then release arms down, turn toes out, turn heels in. Bend your knees, lower yourself down into that temple pose. Arms lift up, fingers lifting up. And then straighten the legs. We'll step right foot up to meet the left, top of the mat. Sit back in chair. Press into the feet, come all the way up. Open your legs back out again. Bring it back into that temple pose. Arms reach up, elbows bent. Find those cactus arms. And then straighten the legs. Now we'll step left foot up, meet the right. Come back into our chair at the back of the mat. Press into the feet, lift it up, open it back up. goddess pose. And then straighten the legs, turn the feet back in. Turn the left toes up towards top of your mat again and take it back into warrior two. And then hands to top of the mat. Step it back into your plank. Find your flow. Step or hop it up top of the mat. Fold it back in. And then press into the feet, rise up, palms together. Hands come back to heart. From here, let's soften the knees. Step the right foot around behind you and over towards left side of the mat. Both knees bent, you can reach arms up. Step yourself back into your Tadasana. Other side, step left foot around behind the right. Both knees bent and lift arms up. And then step it back to center. A few more times as you do this from side to side. And then find your pace. Could keep this slow, or you could begin to pick up the pace. And then bring yourself back up, top of your mat. Bend the knees, sit yourself back in chair, sweep the arms forward. Press into the feet, come all the way back up. Let's bring palms together at the heart. And now bend the knees, step the right foot back, come onto ball of that right foot, both knees bent. And then we'll press into that left foot, begin to take the weight forward into that left leg. Slide that right foot forward, draw that knee up towards the chest. Step the right foot back behind you, come up onto ball of the foot, bend that back knee. Weight into that front foot again as you slide that right foot forward, knee to chest. Step it back again, a couple more times. And then step yourself back up into your Tadasana. We'll take it to the other side, knees soft. Step that left foot back, come onto ball of that left foot, both knees bent. And then weight into that front leg. Draw that left knee up towards the chest. Send the left foot back again. Bend that knee. Draw the left leg back up towards the chest. Couple more, your pace. Make this as fast or slow as feels right for your body right now. And then bring it back up to your Tadasana. Bend the knees, sit it back in chair, arms sweep forward, palms together at the heart. Let's fold it in, forward fold. Halfway up, flat back. Plant hands to the mat, step it back to plank. Find your flow. Meeting back in our downward dog. Now we'll take it into a few downward dog burpees. So bend the knees, hop yourself forward, and then stand up, reach the arms up. Hands come back down to the mat, and then hop yourself back into downward dog with the knees bent. And then all the way up into your downward dog. Let's do it again. We'll bend the knees, hop it forward, bring it all the way up, arms come up. Maybe you roll up onto balls of the feet. Maybe you find a little hop here. Hands come back down, hop it back, down dog, knees bent, and then into your downward dog. Do it a couple more times. Bend the knees, hop it forward, reach it up, hands to the mat, hop it back, find your downward dog, bend the knees, hop it forward, maybe you give it a little hop, hands to the mat, bring it back to that bent knee, down dog, and then into your downward dog. Let's do it one more time. Bend the knees, hop it forward, hop it up, hands to the mat, hop it back, knees bent, down dog, and then find your downward dog. Pedal it out. Find any movement that you like. And then maybe you find some stillness in your downward dog. Pressing down through the hands, down through the fingers, hugging in through the forearms, lifting up through the armpits, lifting up through the belly, releasing sit bones down towards the heels, heels down towards the mat. Lower knees down to the mat. Find your way back into child's pose, your version, knees wide or knees together. Send your bum back to your heels. Maybe you give yourself a little rock from side to side, or maybe you just find stillness here. Forehead to the mat, or you find some support again underneath the forehead. Slowly bring yourself back up to sit on the heels or find your way into a comfortable seat. We'll take palms together at the heart. Thank you so much for sharing this short, energetic practice with me. Hope it got you moving, got the blood pumping and flowing, got your energy level up. Thanks so much for practicing with me today with love and gratitude. Namaste.